Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the InterSim Esports Network for your Friday night for the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series here from Talladega Speedway. What a night it is going to be. Paul, you're joining me in the booth as always. It's going to be 76 laps around Talladega Speedway. What a great night it's going to be, mate. So, of course, myself, Aidan and Paul in the booth, as always, here on the InterSim Esports Network. But we do have a little bit of a special guest tonight, Paul.
That we do, Aidan, and good evening to everyone tuning in at home. And why don't you introduce the special guest of the evening, Aidan?
I'll introduce him. He's none other than my son, Tanner Schultz. Tanner, mate, good to see you here on the InterSim Esports Network for a Friday night. First time commentating.
Yeah, first time.
Series. Good to see you in the booth tonight. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, first time tonight, mate. And are you looking forward to all the action here tonight around Talladega Speedway? You need to just let me finish talking. Sorry, you need to get closer to your mic, mate. It seems like my internet's playing up at the moment as it's going a little bit slow. But yeah, looking forward to all the action here for what will be the final round, Paul. It's going to be a great night, but I don't know what's happening with my internet at the moment. Everything is slowing up in front of me, but it is the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. We do come into this round with Norman Clark leading the way at the moment. We're on board with Norman Clark. They're just coming into pit lane, so definitely his to lose at the moment. So looking forward to see what Norman Clark can do tonight, whether he can get the job done here for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series, Paul.
Well, the guys are just finishing up practice now, and we're about to roll over into qualifying. And with that, we will go through the current championship points for the final round and see how everyone's faring coming into the last round, Aidan.
Yeah, most definitely, Paul. We'll go through those championship points as we go into the final round. We'll bring them up in front of you at the moment. And it is Norman Clark, as I said, leading the way on 312 points. Darren McKenzie back there in second on 306 points. It's not too far for Darren McKenzie to get the W in the championship at the moment, but we are super speedway racing, so anything can happen. Brad Fenley, after a strong start to the championship, sitting back there in 292. Andy Barber in fourth from Southern Stars Esports on 265. Adam Malone, Southern Stars Esports Racing as well on 255. And then we go back to Jamie Nankervis on 253. So that's pretty much the only contenders at the moment that we think is going to have an opportunity to take out this series at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But Tanner, I'll bring you into the broadcast now, mate. You jumped onto the broadcast and you were watching the other night, and Raymond Yeager actually had a good strategy call, and you actually picked him for the win, mate, and he got the W. So who's your call tonight? Who do you think is going to get the win tonight? We've got the likes of Glenn Klein, Joshua Carroll-Walden, Maxie Marshall, Jai Schultz, which is a namesake, so we got to definitely go for him. Norman Clark, Brian Bullock, Nigel Patton, Tom Pritchard, Brad Fenley, Adam Malone, Andy Barber, Derek Jacobs, Raymond Yeager, your man from the other night too, Tanner, is in the race as well. So who's your pick tonight? Any of those drivers, or do you think it's going to be a little bit of a strategy game here around Talladega Superspeedway, where we see it? It's a lot about drafting, a lot about finding your teammate and being able to get to the end. What do you think, Tanner?
I mean, I reckon it's really about strategy. There's only like 78 laps, and they will need their teammates to like drift off. But if I was to pick someone by looking at like the standings, I would have to pick Norman Clark.
Well, that's a really good pick, Norman, Tanner. See, you got me thinking about Norman. That's a really good pick. And Norman, if you watch back on the broadcast, my son's picked you. And Norman Clark, Tanner, if you don't know, he's based in New Zealand. And he's a New Zealand driver. We're on board with him now in the 09. He's done a great job all season. We're into the qualifying session at the moment. We're 2 minutes 55 into 5 minutes. So, Tanner, if you don't know, this qualifying session, they're out on track all by themselves to do 2 laps and see where their lap times do have them fall here for what will be the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series around Talladega Super Speedway. On board there with Brian Bullock, is that? Do photo, Dave Oliver, do photo, as he makes his way around Talladega Super Speedway. So he's trying to get his momentum up at the moment on the outside of the track. So he's going to try and get his second lap quicker than his first one. But we'll go back at the moment. Andy Barber's set his laps. Andy Barber's up the top through qualifying at the moment. He sets the pace with a 51.94. Matt Payton sets the second, provisionally second at the moment with 51.96, and then that has just been pipped by Derek Jacobs with a 51.94. But Tanner, you were just saying something, mate? Tanner, you were saying something just then? Okay, so we can't quite hear Tanner at the moment. There we go.
Yeah, headphones fell off.
No, you're right. Well, you better keep them on because that'll be a pretty essential part about the broadcasting tonight. But Tom Pritchard's just jumped up into P2. But what were you going to say, buddy?
Oh, I forgot what I was even going to say.
That's all right.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I never know what I'm saying here on the Indecime Sports Network. So you're going to fit in nice and perfectly here tonight. But Andy Barber leading the way at the moment. He's got a 51.94, as I said. Tom Pritchard at 51.94 as well. So Southern Stars Esports Racing at the top here, provisionally through qualifying.
Good lap.
Who did, sorry?
Jaeger, he just set in a good lap.
Yeah, Raymond Jaeger's had a good lap. He'll start out of P number 7. But we'll go through your grid and your starting grid here for the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. It will be Andy Barber off the pole position from Southern Stars Esports Racing. Tom Pritchard will take up the outside of that second row. In the third position will be Derek Jacobs out of the United States of America, Southern Stars Esports Racing as well. So those guys are going to want to work together early. Matt Payton from Pinnacle Esports Racing in P4. Nigel Payton, his teammate and father, there in P number 5 from Pinnacle Esports Racing. Joshua Carroll-Walden from Atari Autosports will take up the outside of the third row. In the 7th position will be Raymond Jaeger from Pinnacle Esports. Norman Clark, your championship leader and champion-elect, if he gets this right, sitting in the P8th position off this start at the moment. P9 will be Brad Fenley. Maxi Marshall will take up the P10 position. Jai Schultz will be in Paul Regney, in P9. Maxi Marshall, P10. Jai Schultz will bring up the 11th position. Adam Malone from Southern Stars Esports Racing will start out at the 12th position. Running across into the 13th position at the moment will be Brian Bullock, 14th position, Tristan Koch. Brad Fenley will take up the 15th position. Glenn Klein will start out of the 16th position. Dave Oliver, Photo, will start out of 17. And rounding out your 18-car grid tonight will be the 015 Aussie Esports pilot of Brett Campbell. So looking forward to that one. We'll go through the race info tonight, and we do have 76 laps around Talladega Super Speedway tonight. 75% fuel, 1 set of tyres across the wall. 0 fast repairs. 1 green white checker if we do need it. Of course, myself, Aidan Schultz and Paul Jackson in the booth tonight. Our special guest is my son, Tanner Schultz. Welcome to you tonight, mate. And look forward to bringing all the action to you here on the Indecime Esports Network. The track length is 2.66 miles or 4.28 kilometres, whatever way you like to see it, whether you're in Australia or across in the United States. And the time in the sim world is 12:30 p.m. But really quickly, let's just bring Brett up into the broadcast booth and see how he's going to go before this one. So we're moving him straight up here. Brett Campbell, Aidan and Paul and Tanner from the broadcast booth, mate. Have you got a copy?
Yeah, boys.
Mate, just starting off the back in this one, we just want to get you really quickly before you go green. You're going to want a nice solid night tonight and just keep that 0-1-5 clean.
Yeah, mate, keeping it clean is going to be the name of the game tonight. It's a bit of a weird and wonderful track, this one, so I'm just aiming to keep my nose clean.
Loving the Earnhardt paint there too.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the Earnhardt paint as well. You've changed up from the Aussie paint, but good job on your qualifying. I know you didn't really try in qualifying, and we'll see whether you can get the 0-1-5 up to the point tonight, mate. So we wish you all the best, and thanks for making yourself available here on the InterSim Esports Network. We'll let you jump back up and get ready to get dirty for 74 laps.
No worries, boys. Thanks, guys.
Well, there we go, guys. Brett Campbell making himself available really quickly before we go green at the moment. But we'll just bring this one to green, Tanner, and we'll bring you into the broadcast. But it will be Andy Barber leading the way off the start this time around. It will be on the green, not on the leader. Tom Pritchard, his teammate, on the outside of that front row. Derek Jacobs, the teammate as well. He's running a special livery tonight for his daughters. And he's a Southern Stars Esports teammate, but he is running a special livery for his daughters tonight. So he is one of the quickest drivers around super speedways. So we'll see whether the 99 of Derek Jacobs can get up to the front of this one. On the outside, don't write off Matt Payton, though, our P number 4. He's always quick as well, so we'll see how they go. But we're about to go green, and we are green, and Andy Barber drops the hammer. And we are green here for the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series as they make their way down into turn number 1 and 2 for the first time tonight. Andy Barber leads the way from Tom Pritchard, Derek Jacobs, Matt Payton, JCW, Joshua Carroll-Walden sitting there in 5th position. He's also got Nigel Payton in behind him and Raymond Yeager as well. But Paul, from what I've seen earlier, is this too wide racing with the next gen car. It's pretty much not going to work early. They really need to just get in line and try and race nice and pedestrian-like, as we'd like to say, and try get themselves into that fuel window at the end of the race.
Yeah, and if we look back to Norman Clark, who was leading the way on that outside there, and he's fallen back in line there. So everyone choosing to drop in now, and we've got a single line pretty much.
Yeah, they do, and they keep them making their way around at the moment. It's pretty much going to settle down as I just try and do something in the background. Yeah, so we're going to hear all the drivers because Paul's just had an absolute naughty moment and decided to not turn off the voice chat. But Tanner, mate, we're only a couple of laps in to the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. You've watched a lot of NASCAR. You know what it's like. There's a lot of draft. It's definitely not going to be one right now. It can definitely be lost. But what would your thoughts be if you were a driver sitting here at the moment? If you were Andy Barber or Tom Pritchard, Derek Jacobs leading the way at the moment, how would you run your race? What would you think would be the best strategy?
I mean, if I was Pritchard, I'd wait on so you can get the drafts near the end and you don't go, because at the end, if you get past them, they can draft on you, and then you never know what could happen from there.
Yeah, exactly right. That's a really good point. And the race is not going to be won now. It can definitely be lost. But, yeah, just sit in there behind the draft, save that fuel, and that's really, really good advice there by Tanner. But, Paul, I tell you what, Southern Stars Esports Racing 1, 2, 3 at the moment. They've put themselves in a good spot. I know it's Talladega. We're only 4 laps into 76. Long way to go. They're already getting a nice little gap on this second pack at the moment. But it's definitely a good place to be, especially if we go caution free.
Definitely is. And Aiden, I just noticed something here.
Oh, you're going to throw me under the bus. Here we go.
No bus yet. It's
okay.
coming.
That's later.
It's just getting filled up at the moment at the bus station. But,
yeah, okay.
There's no Darren McKenzie in the grid.
There is none, which is really surprising because he was on for contention to be on a podium here for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. So no Darren McKenzie, which is really, really interesting. But obviously he had better things to do tonight. He's been racing a lot lately. And I can say he will be my future teammate. So there we go. There's the download here on the Indecim Esports Network.
Well, you did say you wanted to have a race with him, and now that might come sooner than expected. But
it will come sooner than expected, and hopefully he's used to coming second. But sorry, Darren, if you are tuning in here on the Indecim Esports Network, mate, that's a joke. Loving it.
With that, then I think we've already crowned our championship winner in Norman Clark tonight.
I think we have. If Norman just gets that 0-9 around the track nice and clean at the moment, as he's doing, we're pretty much going to crown our champion, which Norman Clark, if you remember last season, Paul, he was very unlucky. He was up the front of the standings for most of the races, and he just come unstuck in the final race or two. And he's come back out in the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series this year, and he's pretty much made every post a winner. He hasn't won every race, but what we've shown here through the leagues that we have broadcast, you don't have to win every race. You just need to be consistent. So Norman Clark doing a great job at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, and that'll be in Norman's mind as well, that he doesn't need to win the race, as he's already got that championship pretty much wrapped up. He just needs to have a nice, good finish for himself and bank a few points, and it's pretty much already in the bag for him. So.
Yeah, it is, but we'll bring Tanner into the broadcast again. Tanner, Andy Barber leading the way at the moment over Tom Pritchard, Derek Jacobs. They're all teammates at the moment at the front. There's a little bit of a gap here to the second group at the moment. Where would you rather be, Tanner? Would you rather be in this second group at the moment, or would you rather be up the front and trying to push for the lead of this one? Where would you rather be?
I mean, I can't really comment on that because, like, it depends on strategy, really. And so the back lot, they'll need a good strategy to probably possibly take the win.
Yeah, they will need a good strategy, and the thing that you need to probably think about when we're talking about this broadcast at the moment is these guys sitting in behind, they could be saving more fuel, so their transition time through pit lane could be different. Remember, Tanner, when you were tuning into the Indecim Esports Network, not as a commentator, but you were tuning in here and commentating on our broadcast, or commenting rather on our broadcast, you said that about Raymond Yeager with his strategy, and you said that early on, and you said Raymond Yeager is going to be the one to get this. So I think you're the man on strategy tonight, Tanner, so I don't mean to throw you under the bus, but I think you're the man that's going to know about the strategy and who's going to get what tonight.
I mean, you never know. Anything could happen. It's only the 9th lap.
Well, there we go. He hasn't been around his dad much, has he, Paul? It's only the 9th lap. He hasn't watched his dad race at all. He's just playing his cards close to his chest early on.
Well, only the 9th lap. Super Speedway. Things will heat up, I'm sure. But we have seen in the past that the second pack catch up onto the back of the front running pack before. And I'm sure Andy Barber leading the way there is probably going to look at wanting to save a little bit of fuel with Tom and Derek behind him as well. So he might start slowing up that pack soon to try and pit the same time with his teammates so they can all come out, all work together. So we may see that second pack range up on this lead pack quite soon.
Yeah, we could, but we're going to throw someone onto the bus because that's exactly what I do here on the Indecim Esports Network.
Well, it's not me, so that's good.
I'm going to have a chat to our United States of American friend. Mr. Derek Jacobs. He's running a great livery tonight. We'll give him a chance just to have a chat about it at the moment. The race has settled down at the front, so I'm sure it's a pretty good time to bring him up as much as he'll be concentrating. So we'll bring him up into the broadcast booth. And we've brought him up into the broadcast booth. Derek Jacobs, mate, if you're concentrating, please do not say anything back to us at the moment. But Derek, mate, P3 at the moment. What a sensational livery tonight. It's a big nostalgia livery to you girls and everything. And what a great car the 99 looks tonight. So give all the viewers a little bit of shout out to why the livery was created for the 99 tonight and what that's all about is your 1, 2 and 3 at the moment with your teammates.
Yeah, we're running really good. I'm just kind of running, just following the line here for tonight. Trying to help out my teammates here tonight and put on a good show like we always try to do here. But yeah, the 99's running really, really strong tonight. The paint job was a gift, you know, in honor of my daughters who play varsity sports, and you know, I'm super proud of them, and it's just an honor to drive a car in honor of them. You know, I miss them very much, and so hopefully tonight we can put this car in victory lane tonight for them.
Yeah, hopefully you can do, mate, and hopefully we can see the 99 up the front. You've had a lot of bad luck here, not only for the simracermerch.com NASCAR Next Gen Series, but everything you pretty much run. But we've got to just keep reminding the viewers it's stupid o'clock in the morning there over in America, and you keep supporting these Australian leagues. And Tanner, I'll let you jump up and have a chat to our American friend. Have a chat to Derek Jacobs before we let him go and concentrate on trying to get the W tonight. Say hello to Derek and say whatever you want, mate.
Hello.
Hey Tanner, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Good, man. Are you enjoying the race?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, how do you think our strategy's looking right now?
I mean, I can't really tell, but
Are we running fast?
yeah, I mean, the draft's pretty good at the moment, as I can see, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to try to go fast all night long.
Well, mate, I'm sure Tanner's going to be going for the 99 Southern Stars Esports Racing entry tonight. He's always supported you and stuff. He's seen that through the broadcast. But Tanner, thank you for jumping up there. But Derek, mate, we'll let you jump back up with the Southern Stars Esports Racing team and try and get that 99 to the point. It's a well overdue win there for the 99 tonight. So we'll let you jump back up there and see if you can get that job done.
Thank you, Aiden. Thanks, Blocker, Paul, and we'll do the best we can and hopefully honor the car tonight and honor the team with the podium tonight.
No worries, mate. We'll let you jump back up there. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end of the race.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, there we go, Tanner and Paul. Derek Jacobs making himself available here on the Indersim Esports Network mid-race. How good was that, Tanner, talking to a driver while he's driving around mid-race?
I mean, yeah, it was good.
Hold back your excitement, mate. Because...
Not showing it.
Pardon?
Not, never mind.
No, you're right. You're right. We'll keep going, mate. We'll keep going. But you're doing a great job, buddy. It's great to have you here on the Indersim Esports Network. You're doing an absolutely sensational job, and it's great. It's actually bringing a tear to my eye, so that's great. But Blocker, I'll let you take over for the moment. We're in the second group at the moment, led by Brad, Adam Malone and Brad Fenley, Dave Oliver, Brian Bullock, Paul Regney. So they're at the moment playing a little bit of a fuel strategy game. So that a little bit of a different strategy. We heard Tanner say earlier, it's a little bit too early to call, and he's pretty smart by that because he goes, it is too early to call with the strategy that they're going to do through pit lane.
Sorry, and just had my mouth open for a bit, having a bit of a yawn there, but
Was it a yawn, Paul? Was it a yawn?
Well, I'm not going to say it was a burp, but racing's good so far. 16 laps in, still green flag running here at Dega, so that's always good. Definitely going to be a strategy race, and it's going to be interesting when these pit stops do come under green flag, that those who are in these, first and second and third pack, that they try and pit with someone, and hopefully they all work together to try and catch up, as that first pack, that lead group, actually pulled out a 6-second lead almost over the second pack now. So this second pack's actually dropping right off, and saying that, the second pack's actually pulling away from that third pack too. But Norman Clark there's dropped out of this second pack and has dropped right back on his own there between the second and third pack there.
Yeah, it's weird here from Norman Clark at the moment. He might have had an issue. He's now dropped 4.8 seconds off the back of Jai Schultz. So interesting here by your championship leader and possibly champion-elect at the moment. He's dropped right off the back. But thank you for everyone tuning in here on the InterSim Esports Network. We can see you tuning in here across our platforms of Facebook, YouTube, all those type of things. Kobe Jordan, if you're tuning in, mate, I know you are. I know you want to have a chat to us tonight here on the InterSim Esports Network. Jump yourself up into a chat channel and we'll be sure to bring you up and have a chat. But it is still Andy Barber leading the way as they make their way through turns number 1 and 2. Once again, it is a Southern Stars Esports Racing 1, 2 and 3. Andy Barber, Tom Pritchard, Derek Jacobs. Joshua Carl-Walden looking for a good one tonight. He's still trying to get his head around the NASCAR Next Gen Series ahead of the NASCAR Series next year as well. So this is all nice, a little bit of training there for Joshua Carl-Walden. In the 5th position, Nigel Payton doing a great job. Nigel's someone that has moved forward at a great rate of knots lately, and he has had a lot of nice solid results. So he's sitting there in 5th at the moment. So it's 1, 2 and 3 Southern Stars Esports Racing. 4th is Joshua Carl-Walden from Natari Autosports. But then in 5th, 6th and 7th is Pinnacle Esports Racing of Nigel Payton, Raymond Yeager and Matt Payton. So 2 teams working really hard at the moment. This one, Joshua Carl-Walden, a little bit of the piggy in the middle at the moment as well. So, Tanner, would you like to be Joshua Carl-Walden in the red car at the moment, piggy in the middle with 3 cars in front, 3 cars behind, all working against him?
Pardon?
Would you like to be piggy in the middle at the moment, the 35 of Joshua Carl-Walden? He's a different team to the 3 in front and the 3 behind. Would you rather be Joshua Carl-Walden at the moment sitting there in the middle of this pack, or would you much rather have your teammates around you?
I mean, I'd rather have my teammates around me because, you work together with your draft and all that. But, I mean, it's not bad being by your own because you're also drafting on the team in front because they're not helping the other team. So it's like, it's like a win-win situation.
That's exactly right. And Paul, I reckon Tanner needs to be the lead commentator because he has a lot of common sense stuff to say here on the InterSim Esports Network. He has a lot more common sense stuff to say as me, because when I brought him up then, that's exactly right. Like Joshua Carl-Walden sitting there, he's got no one really to help him, but he's got both teams that he can draft back, draft forward. He can just sit there and do what he wants to do at the moment. So Tanner hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the big thing here is going to be that, with JCW sitting there in the middle, that if he wants to make a bit of a run around the Southern Sports guys here in front of him, we've got a caution, Aiden. We might just cut that one off.
21 into 76, so that just cut that one off. So there's where all the strategy goes. Dave Oliver, do photos in the fence. He's not going to like that one in the 668. That's not the night he would have wanted to have around Talladega Super Speedway. But let's go back to the Inside Lane Productions instant replay. Have a look at what brought out the first caution of tonight. 22 laps into 76. So we'll go back to that replay and see what happened. So Dave Oliver there, he's got his teammate in behind him. I think that's Brian Bullock in behind him as they make their way down into the 3 and 4 turns. And yeah, just way too much assistance there with the draft, and that's teammate send 101. So that's definitely not what they wanted, Tanner. So, Tanner, what do you make of that, mate? Down the back stretch, 2 teammates trying to get a little bit of a push in the draft there, but that's not exactly how they wanted their night to end.
Yeah, there was way too much draft, and he didn't judge that. He didn't judge the turn early, like the turn in time. So he got clipped in the back of his car and went right into the wall.
Yeah,
Would
and
have been
that's
nice
not
to have
over,
a fast
mate.
repair with only 18
They'll get a
turns.
fast repair. I think they've
31
got
minutes
one,
to
but
repair.
that's exactly
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Paul, Tanner's going to do me out of a job if he keeps going.
And lucky it was only his front too.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they want to have a clean car around a super speedway as we see the lead drivers at the moment go into pit lane.
Well,
But,
boys, I've just dragged old Do Photo here into the booth. So, Do Photo, you got a copy there? Coffee? Copy?
Have you got a coffee, Dave? Have you got a coffee? Because you're going to need one after that.
Have you got about 5 packets of Panadol? Because, man, I'm dizzy after that one.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Are you still with us, or are you stumbling out of your race car and falling over? Because that was quite a spin.
I don't know which way I'm pointing, if I'm on fire or not. So I'm a bit like Tweety Bird.
Were you wearing your virtual harness device tonight, mate? Because you wouldn't need that one.
Oh, far out, yeah. That and gaff tape, mate.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tanner, my son's up in the broadcast booth at the moment, and he said you got a little bit close there in the background, and no, sorry, you were in front, and your teammate got a little bit close in the background there and pretty much sent you around. So, Tanner, have you got any advice for Dave Oliver coming into next season?
I mean, it wasn't really even his fault. It's just there was too much draft behind him that his teammate was picking up off him.
Was that correct, Dave? Do you think it was just too much draft behind you and your teammate picked that up and that was how the incident happened?
Yeah, pretty much. We're just trying to bridge the gap to the front group, and I was telling Brian to push. So he just, it does happen, yeah, too much draft, and just gave me the old bump, and it just turned me the wrong way, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunate too that there's no fast repairs. I thought there was one, but there's no fast repairs. So it's going to be really hard to get the 668 back up to the front in this one, but hopefully you get all that damage repaired, or at least some of it, and you can still rotate around and see how you end up tonight, mate.
Yeah, I just checked in with the crew, and I've got 29 minutes of required repairs left. So I think I can go to the medical center for a lay down for at least 27 more minutes, and see how we go from there.
Well, make sure you have a chat to Samantha, because Derek Jacobs, if you've seen here on the Intersym Esports Network, he has a virtual fetish with Samantha up in the stands. There might be a Samantha down there in the medical centre that might be able to give you a little bit of a Band-Aid and a Panadol, mate.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for her.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know whether she's there. No doubt Derek will probably know more than me, but just have a look when you get in the back of that ambulance and get off track at the moment. And when you get that little Band-Aid there over your little scratch on your knee and that Panadol for your headache, just look out for Samantha and see how you go. But Dave Oliver, in all seriousness, mate, unfortunate run tonight. That's super speedway racing, and I'm sure you'll be back next time.
Yeah, I was only saying to Brian, our teammate, that we just needed a few more of the bin chicane boys, like we've had previous, just to help, boost up the final, race of the season, and like old time's sake. So, but unfortunate that they weren't around to come play, but yeah, we'll see how we go next season.
Next season,
how you thinking about next season? Yeah, actually, you say that, Paul.
Yeah, next season, are we going to likely to see a few more bin chicane cars back on the grid?
I hope so. See how it goes. To see how where the rounds fall, and if no real life racing and stuff clashes and stuff. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll try and rally up the boys over Christmas and Yeah.
We'll get them amongst it, mate, because it's now the global iRacing leagues, as you've seen. So a lot of different things coming to you here in 2022. So not just oval, a lot of road stuff, a lot of things that you guys really love to do as well. And of course, we'll be there supporting you guys through the Porsche series or whatever you decide to do into 2022 as well. But it's great seeing you here once again supporting the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen series here from Talladega, Dave. So unfortunate again tonight, but look forward to talking to you next year.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Well, there we go, Blocker. We're about to go green. The safety car's about to come in. It's still Andy Barber leading the way over his teammate Tommy Pritchard. Raymond Yeager and Nigel Payton's now made themselves or moved their way up into the second and third position as they make their way down the main straight, ready to take the green flag for the second time tonight. We're now 24 into 76. But Tanner, your first time up in the broadcast booth as they're just going green at the moment. How are you enjoying it, mate? You having fun? Hope we're not throwing you under the bus a lot. You having fun and enjoying yourself here, trying to have a little bit of a commentate and get used to what we do?
Yeah, I'm having fun and I'm enjoying it, and yeah, you're not throwing me under a bus, but I just know a lot, so.
Well, I think it's about time.
You do know a lot, and that's the thing. Sorry, Tanner. Sorry,
not bragging, but
Paul, real quickly. This is where Tanner will go quiet, because he knows a lot and he thinks about the race a lot more. He'll be concentrating on the race more than talking. So this is where he'll get interesting late in the race. But Paul, you jump in and say what you're going to say. Sorry, mate.
Well, I think it's about time, Tanner, there, that you go and throw your old man under the bus. So he's throwing everyone else under the bus all season, and including myself. So I think it's time he gets a bit of payback, and what better person to do it than yourself?
How are we going to do that? How's he going to throw me under the bus, Paul? You need to give him a bit of a lead here.
I mean, lots of ways actually, but I mean.
All right, go on then.
Here we go. Well, I'm rubbing my hands together here. This is going to get juicy.
Throw me under the bus.
I mean, what do you reckon is the best strategy then?
What do I reckon is the best strategy? I reckon at the moment, just sitting at the front is going to be the best strategy. If you're sitting in second or third or fourth position, just saving that fuel, that's going to be the best strategy. It's a little bit different now that the pack is all closed up and they don't have the gap. It's pretty much game on and race reset at the moment. So if there is a gap at the front between the first 5, 6, 7 drivers, whatever happens as we go back to the second pack at the moment. But it's all about fuel saving at the moment because in super speedways, Tanner, you don't take tyres. So it's all about fuel saving. It doesn't matter if you're 5th or 6th or 7th. You just need to stay on that group and make sure that your final pit stop is quicker than the cars in front of you to make sure you come out in front. But in saying that, it doesn't really matter either, because unless you're 3 or 4 seconds down the road, they're just going to catch you with draft and pass you like you're standing still. So there's a lot to play out yet, and that was a very good question. But where would I rather be? I'd probably at the moment much rather be sitting in around about the Nigel Payton, Raymond Yeager or Joshua Carl-Walden's position at the moment, the 3rd, 4th or 5th. Just sitting back there and letting the race pretty much come to me and play it out in front and race the race later on, mate. But that's the answer to your question. But that wasn't really throwing me under the bus either. I'm quite disappointed. I didn't bring you up well enough, obviously, because you didn't throw me under the bus big enough.
Yeah, you got me.
Well, it's almost Christmas time, so maybe Tanner's being good, so Santa comes to him, and also his old man spoils him.
I might have to get rid of that coal under the Christmas tree then, but...
Dad, I'll buy your bus.
Pardon, Tanner?
I'll find a way to get your bus.
Well, I'm sure there's a Hot Wheels bus or something you could buy from Kmart, and you could just throw the bus at him.
We'll need a bus coming back from the Big Bash League, so you can get me a bus then. But Anyway, it's great to have you here, mate. It's absolutely sensational. I got to tell you, Paul, like, I know how much you love your girls and you know, having your kids and stuff like that, but to have my son here on the broadcast and, you know, like, lives 700 kilometres away, loves me to bits. I love him just equally, and as I do Flynn as well, my other son, but it brings a tear to my eye to be able to enjoy this occasion with him. It's a really special moment for me.
Certainly is, and a bit of quality time with your kids, and you know, even though you're distance apart, but you're still able to chat as well, and you know, have those good relationships together. So it's always good, and you know, having a little bit of interest as well in each other's lives, and you know, for Tanner to come in here on the broadcast as well and have a bit of a chat with us as well. So
even though he wants to buy me a bus, but we won't worry about that. But no, it is good, and I hope you're having fun, Tanner. But anyway, we are 30 laps into 76. We'll stop the sentimental stuff. We've got a lot of time to do that over the Christmas period. But Brad Allison tuning into the chat, and he goes, okay, the kid's got lots up his sleeve. Laugh out loud. So Brad Allison can read right through you, Tanner, on the stream at the moment. He knows that you know that the race is not won quite yet, and you know how a race is won. And I know how you know that because you've seen your dad win plenty of races. This is where you don't throw me under your bus.
Yeah, well, I have seen you in lots of races. I mean, in real life, yeah.
Oh, are we going caution with Paul Regney?
That's off the track there. So he's had a little bit of a crash as it's come up.
Sorry to cut you off there, Tanner, but Paul Regney just come off the track.
Might go back to the Inside Lane Productions and we'll have a look.
Yeah, we'll go back to the Inside Lane Productions replay and see what happened to Paul Regney. We'll come back to you in a second, Tanner. But a little bit of a touch there. Derek Jacobs involved in that one, so DJ's not going to be happy about that in the 99. He looked to have a nice solid night tonight, and he's just been sent. Paul Regney's into the wall. That's not over for him. Derek Jacobs kept the 99 car going, so he's all right at the moment. He's going to keep going around, but he's going to lose the draft. So GJ's not going to be happy with that one. But let's just go back to Tanner at the moment. Do you want to say that again, Tanner, about me winning? I just want to hear that again because I need a little bit of self-promotion.
I mean, I've seen you in in karting, like go-karting in real life. Not so much on here, but I have.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
There's the bus.
I haven't seen Aiden win much on here either, so that's all right.
There's the bus. That is gold. That is gold. There is the bus. But yeah, exactly right, Tanner. The want out extends the talent, but that's all right. I'm just going to leave you and Paul for a minute while I just go and crawl back in my cocoon because you said that you weren't going to throw me under the bus early, and you just waited for the perfect moment, and that's exactly how I brought you up, mate. Like, you just did that, straight under the bus.
Well, Brad Fenley was looking to make a bit of a second line charge there with Jai Schultz behind him, but couldn't quite get that job done. Raymond Yeager as well. Now he's got Nigel Padden popping out. So boys are looking. They want to make that run. Want to make that second line work, but it's just not happening at the moment.
Yeah, the outside line here in the next gen cars is really hard to get to work. If you don't have a lot of help on the outside and then getting the side draft, it's just really with this model with the next gen car. And I know we've just gone through the update through iRacing. It hasn't really got a lot better, as you can see now. A driver trying to make a second line, Brad Fenley, getting followed there by, I think that's Jai Schultz on the outside in the MSR livery, and it really does not create a second lane. Like, it's really hard. It's really hard to pass. It's really hard to be able to create that second lane. So we'll see whether Brad Fenley and Jai Schultz can get the job done around Matt Payton as they make their way down the main stretch here at Talladega Motor Speedway. But at the first opportunity there, we could see Jai Schultz go, Brad Fenley, no worries, I'm going to the bottom. So Brad will be in the same channel as Jai. So they've realised early that, no, we can't go the outside. So it's a little bit status quo at the front. at the moment. And, yeah, we're still just going around. But Brett Campbell, 23 laps, or 10 laps down in this one, rather, or 23 laps down. He was gone early. But we'll see. I think we have... Just bear with me. We got Kobe Jordan, Paul. He's ready to jump into the broadcast booth. Kobe Jordan from Inside Lane Productions. We'll bring him up into the broadcast booth and have a chat if that's okay.
Sounds like a plan there, Aiden.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we have Kobe Jordan up into the broadcast booth here on the InterSim Esports Network. The man, the name, the myth behind Inside Lane Productions. Not racing lately, mate, with a few of your own little incidents you've had in your personal life. But, mate, you wanted to join us up here in the broadcast booth, and you never need to ask to join us here on the InterSim Esports Network, but you wanted to join us up here, and good to have you up here, mate.
All right, thanks for having us, boys.
Well, mate, we're at Talladega at the moment, 36 into 76. It's been pretty pedestrian, apart from the one caution so far. How's your take on the race? And I think another thing, how do you think Tanner's going with the commentary?
I think he's doing a great job, boys. We should be proud to have him on.
Tanner, don't get a big head, because Kobe, he'll send you like.
Aiden's already got a big enough one for the both of you.
Hey, that's harsh. But we're still on. But Kobe, you wanted to jump into the broadcast, mate. You wanted to say a few words. So, mate, of course, we'll give you the platform here on the InterSim Esports Network to say a few words, and of course about the Inside Lane Productions and everything. Of course, you've been a massive sponsor here for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series, and not only that, across a lot of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Leagues through the 2021 season. Mate, your time to shine, and have a chat about your business, have a chat about what's going on and everything you want to talk about.
Well, yeah, as a lot of you guys already know, we do a few sim racing products. Jace has already taken home one of the button boxes. I'm looking forward to giving away one tonight.
That was rigged, by the way. I should have won that, but anyway.
It was a shame that we didn't have, or you guys didn't have a full field to make it a bit more interesting, but is what it is.
But yeah, so Jace took away the button box, so you do a lot of the button boxes and different things like that.
Yeah, and we're opening up more options too for the users. So you've got your standard layout, but there's a lot of upgrades that the guys can get too. Like some of them who race in the dark might want glow in the dark buttons or backlit buttons, that kind of stuff. So all our stuff is completely customizable. We work with the client so that they get what they want and not just something that's off the shelf.
That's awesome. That's really good. I'm actually in the market for a sequential shifter. So is that something you can help me out with through the Inside Lane Productions?
Yeah, definitely. We do a sequential shift that's got a nice mechanical feel to it. Very clunk when you move it back and forth. Nice and strong too. And available in any colour. We actually did a light blue one not so long ago for a client. It was very interesting, but it came up looking smick.
I'm sure Aiden would love a pink one.
I'd love a pink one. I like pink bits, so I'd love a pink one. That's not meant in the way that sounded at all, because my son is on the broadcast. But, yeah, I like the colour pink. I don't mind it. I actually think it's like when you go, Kobe, I'll ask this question to you, right? You remember when you used to go back, and I'd say you're a similar age to me. I'm just going to say that. I don't know. And no, I'm not 59. But you used to go back clubbing, right? And you used to have your long sleeve shirt on, whatever. Pink's the new blue or whatever. Like, if you go out with your tight pink shirt and your thing, it's the in thing now, isn't it? Or have I, missed it by about 7 years?
I think, it still is in. I see it what was I watching? The Formula One, I think one of the guys had a pink shirt on. One of the commentators.
I've got to stump you both, because it's not pink. It's always been about.
Here we go.
It's always been about salmon.
Salmon, yes.
Yeah. Tanner, is it pink or salmon?
I don't know.
Just say pink or salmon. Which one?
For pink. Yeah, pink.
Pink. It's definitely pink. Yeah, it's pink. It's got to be pink.
Pink's been around quite a bit. I've seen quite a bit of it.
Yeah, exactly. Pink's been around a bit. There you go. So it's definitely
I don't know
pink
down
over
in
salmon.
Brisbane, but here, yeah.
Oh, well, same. There's colours everywhere all around the world, mate. So,
I know that.
A lot of people love Pink. She writes some great songs there as well. But you can't go past Tay Tay as well. Come on, look at Tay Tay. She's even on a race car.
Yeah, a bit of a redemption tour here now on the 23 there, Tanner. There's Tay Tay on the redemption tour 23 of
it's reputation,
so,
not redemption. We covered that last time.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm not really a big follower of Tay Tay, if I'll be honest, but probably more a follower of Pink.
I got help from behind.
Anyway, it's a reputation tour.
No, I know.
Yeah, he's still running that livery at the moment in the 23. Tay Tay's doing a good job. I remember we were calling Tay Tay a couple of weeks ago. But Mark Joe's just tuned into the chat too, saying, what the cost? I don't know what the cost means.
For a button box, you're looking at $300. Sorry, $250 though actually for the standard one. And then depending on what options, what upgrades you want, we factor that in.
Well, when you send that to Jason Holdsworth, just get that delivery address wrong and send it to me. Is that okay? No, I'm sure Jason will have something to say about that, so he probably shouldn't do that.
I was going to say just send the invoice in the box.
Yeah, there's the under the bus right there. Jason Holdsworth gets his, and it's well deserved. I'm just paying out, but Jace Holdsworth, what a great job he did for the Open Truck Series this year. I wish I would have been able to bring something to him. I definitely thought I would have. The Super Speedways is definitely what made me come undone this year, but he definitely did a great job this year and well deserved. And what a good job by you, Kobe, to be able to support the series and to give that awesome prize to the winner, and none more deserved than Holdsworth there to get the W.
Yeah, his racing has really come along since joining Nitro. I mean, he was always a fast racer beforehand, but he's taken it to a new level now.
Yeah, he has, and I'll never take anything away from Jason Holdsworth. He's a great driver, and I've got a lot of respect for him, not only as a driver, but a human being as well. But he'll be the first to admit he doesn't like a lot of fixed racing. I haven't done a lot of open racing, and that was my first league that I did open racing, and I was just running in standard sets. And I was quite happy that I could take it to him. But I tell you what, he's part of a good team there in Nitro Racing. He's got his goal set on the prize, and he's doing everything possible to be able to make his way through the iRacing scene at the moment, and he's doing everything possible, and he's doing a great job, and you couldn't wish anything better for such a gentleman of iRacing, and to get the W in that open league, and then to be able to hopefully progress that and to be able to see him expand into other things through iRacing. How good is that for the Inside Lane Productions brand to be a part of that?
It's great. It's been an absolute pleasure sponsoring the Full Throttle, now Global iRacing series. We'll definitely be doing it more in the future. It's definitely helped us out and hopefully helped you guys out as well.
Yeah,
it's been a great relationship.
Definitely has, and we'll continue that relationship through the Global iRacing Leagues. We'll be talking about that and what we need to do, and that definitely will not stop, mate. So we'll keep continuing promoting your brand and everything as long as you want to be a part of it. So the Inside Lane Productions brand is a great brand, and creating stuff, and I can imagine how much work it does take to create these things. You know, like it's not simple. Creating shifters, creating button boxes and all that type of stuff, it's definitely not simple. It takes a lot of time and a lot of finesse and a lot of effort. And then when you've got customers wanting different things and all that type of stuff, and I'd like to think probably you got a full-time job as well, or other people within your business do. So Definitely takes a lot of time, so it just goes to show how much Inside Lane Productions does support the iRacing community.
Yeah, well, it's a job of passion, you know. It's something we love doing, so it makes your job a lot easier when you enjoy doing what you're doing and you're surrounded by great people. Makes my day go a lot quicker, I know that much.
Well, Cobes, we'll give you the opportunity. We are now 47 into 76. Mate, we've spoken a lot about Inside Lane Productions across the last 10 or 15 minutes. Where can they find you? Not necessarily just across Facebook or whatever. Where can they find you if someone's in the market for a button box, in the market for a sequential shifter, in the market for anything that is made custom to them through the iRacing world? And let's be honest, we all want something custom. We sit in our rig and we go, oh, that's mine. You know, that's custom made to me. How good does that feel? Where can they find Inside Lane Productions?
Honestly, the easiest place is Facebook. You'll get the quickest response there. We don't actually have a website at the moment because websites are going the way of the dinosaur, to be honest. Everything's on social media nowadays. So, yeah, if you want to get anything through us, jump on Facebook, look up Inside Lane, shoot us a message there, or failing that, just shoot me one personally and we'll take care of you.
Yeah, definitely. And what we'll do here on the broadcast for you, Kobe, is we'll actually post in our comments here for the broadcast on Facebook. We'll post a link to the Inside Lane Productions Facebook page for all the viewers so they can jump on and click that one and like that one and follow it so they don't have to look any further. And we'll make sure that they can see that and get everything. I'll be tuning in and jumping across as we go into the green flag pit stop. So I'll be sure to purchase something off you shortly, Kobe, because there's something I really, really want that you offer. So, but we're going into green flag pit stops, and it is Andy Barber making his way into pit lane at the moment as Nigel Payton and Joshua Carroll-Walden stay out at the moment. Raymond Yeager, Matt Payton, Brad Fenley and Jai Schultz there in the 6th position. This is a 6-car battle. They're going to stay out a little bit longer, but thanks for joining us at the moment, Kobe. I'll have to jump across to Tanner. He's been a little bit quiet at the moment. Tanner, I know we're talking all about sponsors there and everything, but how do you see this race playing out?
I mean, I've been watching one Pacific driver for a moment, Malone, who's currently in 7th place now. He was towards like the middle back. I saw he got up to 5th before he pit, but although he was probably using a lot of fuel, I reckon he could be a pretty big threat to pole position.
Okay, well, that's one to keep an eye on. Adam Malone, a pretty big threat at the moment.
Adam Malone there, he actually absolutely smashed Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard there out of pit lane, but Maxi Marshall coming out of pit lane just had a big moment there.
Big tank slapper, so that's going to put him right back at the moment as well. So that's a really good call from you there, Tanner. We'll see how that plays out for Adam Malone. He's currently in the 7th position, but the live timing will picks up really quickly. And we're on board there with Adam Malone, but it's really weird watching Adam Malone at the moment, Brooks. We're used to seeing him in a green car, and he looks exactly like Darren McKenzie at the moment. So really interesting, but we've got Andy Barber there just joining up on the back of him as well. Tommy Pritchard, the teammates, my future teammates actually, sitting there in all together, just trying to get the run as Brad Fenley comes out of pit lane at the moment. He's going to drop off the back of this one. He's going to want to get a drive and get a little bit of a draft. Is he too far back? It looks like he is at the moment as these drivers make their way through. So I tell you what, the likes of Adam Malone, Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard in a really good position in this one. Jai Schultz just off in the back of this one as well, so don't write off them at all. As we see Joshua Carroll-Walden now deciding coming in pit lane. We're 52 into 76, that means 24 to go. Not long to go, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Tay coming out of pit lane. That's Raymond Yeager. He's in 2nd position on my relative at the moment. He's got a big angry pack coming down in behind him. The Southern Stars Esports Racing guys going around the outside. They're going to catch up on Raymond really, really quickly. Matt Payton there just in behind this little battle on the inside line. These two drivers in behind, the three drivers of Southern Stars Esports Racing will probably get the draft up into the back, and this will create another 6-car battle for the front. But the Southern Stars Esports Racing guys are looking to make the move out there around the outside of Raymond Yeager. But Matt Payton, you can see back there, just in behind Raymond, is his teammate. So Raymond will be sitting back there saying, Matt, come on, come help me, and let's go and get these boys in front. So watch out for these two drivers to try and push their cars up to the front of this one, but don't ride off Nigel Payton as well in the background. So it's the same thing as we saw early there, Paul and Tanner. It's Southern Stars Esports Racing, 1, 2, 3 as they go around the outside of Joshua Carroll-Walden. It's Pinnacle Esports Racing, 4, 5, 6, Joshua Carroll-Walden. Again, the box in the sandwich. And Pinnacle Esports Racing's going to make their way around Joshua Carroll-Walden. He's just going to have to sit there at the moment, but he'll drag up onto the back of this little battle. So, Tanner, you said that you wouldn't mind being Joshua Carroll-Walden earlier, but he's dropped back a little bit. It's going to be a 7-car battle for the lead of this one. It's not a bad spot to be from Joshua Carroll-Walden at the moment, but you pretty much picked it in strategy.
Yeah, like I said earlier, at that time, you never knew what could have happened, but still, he still could, like, at the position where he is, he still could easily do anything at this point.
Yeah, he could, and we're pretty much going to be green to the end, I'd strongly suggest, but he's in a good position, JCW. He's from one of the best teams, I'd say, on Oval, Natari Autosports, and the godfather of Oval Racing, as they say, Edward Foster running that team. So, he doesn't have his championship leader at the moment, Norman Clark, up there with him. But Norman Clark, at this stage, still going to take home the W for the championship. But the Southern Stars guys, how hard they're going to run it? How much do they want to run at the front here and push it really hard? The draft is going to be absolutely key. How much is Raymond Yeager, Matt Payton, Nigel Payton wanting to push up onto the back? The more they sit off the back of these three guys at the front, they're going to use more fuel. So they want to get as close as they can and just sit in there. And whatever strategy these guys in front of them do, I would suggest do the exact same thing and worry about winning the race on the last lap. It's exactly what we saw last night, where I must say my own self-promotion, I took my first championship on iRacing. So I did that, and I did that around Daytona. But it's not about me tonight. It's about all these drivers, and tell you what, this is spicing up at the front, Paul and Tanner. It's a nice little 7-8 car battle, and this is pretty much going to bring us to the end, 58 and 76. I'm not sure whether they're going to have to pit again. I'm not sure they do, but it's definitely, it's a little bit of a calm before the storm at the moment.
It is, and if you let me go, boys, I'm going to get back to watching the broadcast from my girl.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I totally forgot you were up here.
You're right, mate. You're right. Tanner, you're doing a great job. Dad should be proud. Thanks, guys.
Tanner. There's a little bit of a shout out there by Kobe saying you're doing a great job. I should be proud, and I am definitely proud, mate.
Yes, thank you.
No worries, mate. See ya.
All right, Paul and Tanner, I'll leave it to you for the next 5 minutes. I'm just going to go get a drink of water. Paul and Tanner, this is yours to call for the next 5 minutes, and I'll be back in a little jiffy to bring you all the action at the end of the race.
Yeah, well, Aiden's going to be Brack, as he just said, so...
I said back, not Brack, sorry.
I thought I heard an R.
Yeah, I definitely heard an R in there as well, Tanner. But things are definitely going to look like they're going to heat up in the next sort of 20-odd laps. And Raymond Yeager there, he's caught right up on the back of Tom Pritchard in third spot there. So I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Is it tonight that we see Southern Stars with a 1-2-3 finish, or will Pinnacle Esports with Raymond Yeager, Nigel Patton, Matt Patton and JCW there on the back be able to cause another upset?
I mean, they're playing patient, but Are they playing a bit too patient? I don't know. Could be. Because they're not trying to overtake, they're just drafting every straight.
Well, that could be a reason to that. So generally, when you have a handful of laps still to go, then you don't want to make that pass too early and give the guys an opportunity to try and pass you again. So if you sit there, you play it smart, and you wait for those laps to count down, and then you make your moves in the last lap or two, or even on the last lap, then if you can make that move and make it stick and get that position, then the other guys don't have a chance to come back and pass you again.
Yeah, like they do gotta play it really smart at this point, and then they can start doing like all the moves and actually, trying to get a lead or like at least a gap.
Yeah, so Raymond there pushing really hard on the back of Tom, so Matt needs to stay there with him as well, not drop too far off the back of Raymond, and we'll probably see we've got 16 laps there, so probably within the next probably 10 to 12 laps things will start getting quite spicy up the front here, and we'll be seeing everyone having a little bit of a look, seeing if they can get that draft down the side, use that side draft, and see if they can try and get one of their cars up into a podium spot.
Yeah, I agree, Paul. It's a little bit of a calm before the storm at the moment. And thanks, Tanner, for jumping in there, and Paul, because that was actually really nice to listen to. It was good to hear. And Tanner, you actually know a lot more than what you think, mate. You need to be a lot more confident here on the broadcast, because you know a lot more than you think with racing. But it's good to see at the moment. It's a little bit of a calm before the storm. These guys just making their way down the back stretch into turns number 3 and 4 this time around. They're just sitting there, and they're not going to jostle for positions. This is all just getting their car in a position to be able to race to the end, and when they do want to fight. And no doubt these drivers will come across the line with about a lap of fuel or less in their cars. So they're just sitting there at the moment, 61 into 76. They've been through pit lane twice already. They did it once through the caution. They did it once under the green flag. Are they going to have to do it again? I don't think so. But it's definitely going to be a fuel save game of who can run to the end at the moment. So the likes of Adam Malone, he's pretty much the warrior at the front setting the way. He's going to be saying to the likes of Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard, Raymond Yeager, well, not Raymond, because he's not going to be in the channel, but he's going to be going, okay, this is how my fuel's going. I'm using all the fuel, whereas the likes of Andy Barber at the moment, Tommy Pritchard in behind, one hand, as we like to call Tom Pritchard. So there you go. If you tune into the Intersim Esports Network broadcast here, Tom, a little bit later, there you go. There's your one-hand reference for the night. But they're going to be sitting back there. They're going to be saving about 0.1, 0.2 laps a lap in fuel, just sitting there in the draft. So Adam Malone, a little bit of a pedestrian at the moment, sitting out there. He's setting the lap times, and he's going to have to be flat strap at the moment. So the people like Raymond Yeager, Matt Payton, Nigel Payton, even Joshua Carroll-Walden sitting off the back of this one at the moment, as much as he doesn't have teammates to help him at the latter end of this race, they're going to be sitting there and they're going to be saving fuel. So when it comes to the back end of this race, they're going to be able to send it hard. Has Adam Malone got enough? Has Adam Malone sent it too early in relation to going hard, and he's just going, I'm just going to go as far as I can go and hope for a caution? I don't know whether he can get to the end, but here we go. The Pinnacle Esports pilots are trying to make it too wide around the outside through the tri-oval here at Talladega Motor Speedway, or Super Speedway, and we're going too wide. But now, as soon as we see that drop down, and then that's just literally left Nigel Payton with nowhere to go in no man's land behind Joshua Carroll-Walden there. So from teammate work, that was not 100% what they would have wanted to happen, to have Nigel just left completely in no man's land there.
This was what I was wondering, Aiden. Who is JCW going to help? Is he going to help push those Pinnacle guys, or was he going to help himself and make those spots? But he's now popped out, and he's behind Raymond there, so we'll see. They've actually got the job done there on Tom Pritchard. Raymond's jumped Tom.
Yeah, he has, and I don't think Josh is going to help anyone at the moment. He's just going to get his car in the position to be able to have a fight for the end, and knowing Josh, he'll just go, I'll just put my car in a position and I'll see how I end up. At the moment, and the way that these teams are running at the moment, the Southern Stars Esports guys, they're the only ones that seem to be running nice and closely together and keeping that consistent. We saw that Nigel Payton got dropped off, but now he's moved up into in behind of Raymond Yeager with Joshua Carroll-Walden and Matt Payton now dropping to the back of that as well. So unless these Pinnacle Esports drivers really get Joshua Carroll-Walden out of this one and start working together and really push, it's really a Southern Stars Esports Racing team loss at the moment. Like, it's their race to lose, but it's the first time we've seen two wide racing around Talladega tonight. And the 4 cars on the outside, they're going to get a good run here because 4 cars is better than 3. So you'll watch and you'll see Raymond Yeager get a good run down around the outside here, down into 3 and 4, if they can get that toe done nice and correctly. And they will make a good run, but we'll see how they go through 3 and 4. And that's going to slow up now because you can see that Matt Payton just dropping off the back of the battle, but you can see also Tom Pritchard dropping off the back of the inside line as well. So as much as I say that, it's pretty much just gone back to status quo. But I'm looking at the comments on the broadcast as well. Steve Hobbitt's tuned in and says, ditch Aiden and keep Tanner. So there you go, Tanner. You've got a paid job, mate, if you want a job here on the InterSim Esports Network. One of the viewers say, ditch Aiden, and you're straight in the broadcast booth, mate. So how do you like your new appointment here on the InterSim Esports Network?
Yeah, I mean, I can't replace it because, I mean, I can't do this all the time. Some nights I can't, but every now and then if you want me to come back on, yeah, I should be able to come back on.
You don't need to replace me, mate. They're just having fun. But that just goes to show how good of a job you're doing here on the InterSim Esports Network. And this is like a nostalgic moment for me. So you're doing an absolutely amazing job, better than I thought you would have, mate. You're doing a great job, and it just goes to show how much motorsport we watched earlier in your life and how much motorsport you've seen and understanding the racing and everything that happens, because every time you comment, you have pretty much like the technical brain of me. You comment on what you see in front of you and not the long game. So you're doing a great job. But at the moment, I will ask you, Tanner, Raymond Yeager's now taken the lead of the race. Nigel Payton has come into second place. Adam Malone, Andy Barber, Joshua Carroll-Walden, Tom Pritchard. It's pretty much a race of 8 at the moment, or 7, sorry, with Matt Payton off in the back. We're 68 into 76, or 66, sorry. 66 or 68? Can't quite see that. We're 69 now into 76. Who's the one that's going to get the job done tonight? Who's your money on as we're going into the back end of this one?
I mean, currently looking at it, my pick's Raymond Yeager at the moment, but yeah.
I think you've got a bit of a soft spot for Raymond because you picked him the other night and he got the W, and you might have a soft spot for Tay-Tay too by the looks of it, mate, because he's running the Tay-Tay livery.
I mean, yeah, he is running the livery, but yeah, I don't have a soft spot for like Tay-Tay. I don't even know who Tay-Tay is.
Taylor, yeah, I don't even know either. Taylor Swift, but
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but
no, Taylor Swift is.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
here's the question now. So lap 70 of 76, boys. So Adam Malone there, Andy Barber, JCW, and Tom Pritchard with Nigel Payton in the back. So there's a Southern Stars lineup there, and only 2 Pinnacle guys in behind, and obviously JCW in the mix of that Southern Stars lineup. So, is Adam going to pop out again, take Andy with them, see if JCW comes for the push, or is JCW going to try and range up on the back of Nigel Patton to get a 3rd place podium? How are we going to call this with coming up 5 laps to go?
I can say exactly what I think, Paul, and that's really, really good calling by you, because it's pretty much in that position of the race at the moment on who's going to do what. And my suggestion would be, and the reason I can say this, I was in a similar position last night racing against Southern Stars. And what they're going to be doing, they're going to be sitting back there in the 3rd, 4th, 6th position at the moment. And they're just going to be sitting back there waiting. So I'll strongly suggest with 71 to 76, don't be surprised when we get 75 in the 76, that Adam Malone's going to pull out and create that second line. Because if they just keep following the drivers in front of them at the moment, that's the way the race is going to finish. So the Southern Stars guys are just going to be setting themselves up and to have a run. What's going to be the interesting part, and Brad Allison tuning in on the broadcast, he made a good reference as well as what JCW is going to do. Is he going to help Southern Stars, or is he going to jump in behind the Pinnacle Esports guys? He referenced maybe in behind the Pinnacle Esports guys, but this is what's going to be interesting and interesting to see how this plays out. So in the next couple of laps, we'll see Adam Malone pop out and try and create that second line, and we're going to see Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard try and go with him. Is Joshua Carroll-Walden in the 35 going to go with them as well, or is he going to think the inside lane's going to be better and I'm going to push my way onto the inside lane? But that's not also going to help Joshua Carroll-Walden, because he's going to get stopped there on the inside lane by the Pinnacle Esports Racing guys. So this is where it's all going to play out, and don't be surprised, gentlemen, if we don't see a green white checker in this one, because there's going to be elbows out late.
Yeah, same of what you said. Like, they're going to try to push outside, like, within the next lap or 2, and I reckon Joshua Carroll-Walden will push to the outside line with them. We'll then see what's going to happen from there.
Exactly right. And
Tanner's money's on JCW pushing the outside line. I'm going to say JCW is going to be pushing on the inside line. Where are you going to say he's pushing?
I'm going to have to go with my son here. I'm going to have to say that Joshua Carroll-Walden's going to go the outside line, because I don't think there's a run there on the inside. If Joshua Carroll-Walden gets left there on the inside, he's going to be stuck there 3rd back on the inside line. There's not really anywhere to go around Talladega Superspeedway, but in saying that, it is a long run to the finish line, so there's a lot to play out yet. Don't write off Matt Payton there, back in the 7th position. He's just sitting back there waiting as well. So this could be anyone's as they make their way down the back straight, 74 into 76. So this next lap around, Tanner, as you said, this is probably going to be the indication of what we're going to see in the back end of this race, mate, because if we see someone try and poke their nose out and get the run, this is going to be an indication of what these guys' intentions are in the last couple of laps in this one.
Yeah, like, they're gonna, like, within, like, this lap or next, whenever, like, Malone, Barber, JCW, and maybe even Matt Payton, they're gonna be, like, going outside line and trying to get the draft off them and, like, really push their car to get 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or any of those positions.
We'll see if that happens as they make their way through the 3 and 4 turns this time around. It still is Raymond Yeager leading the way at the front. He's pretty much a sitting duck, but I tell you what, I'd much rather probably be in that position with the draft model in these cars at the moment. So Raymond Yeager's going to lead their way across the strike this time around, and it will be 2 laps to go. Tommy Pritchard trying to get a run around the outside. He's got no one to help him at the moment. So that goes contrary to what I with the Southern Stars guys trying to help each other. So, there we go. There it is. Joshua Carroll and Matt Payton Are they going to keep it going? We're going to go caution
Oh.
here. We're going to go caution here. We're going to get a green,
Oh,
white
my God.
checker. Oh, white flag. There's no. We're still going. So Joshua Carl-Walden and Matt Payton out of this one. So have a look at this one, ladies and gentlemen. It is Raymond Yeager and Nigel Payton leading the way. Don't write off Adam Malone and Andy Barber there in the third and fourth position. They're in a good spot here. So we're about to go white flag. Andy Barber taking it too wide. There's a little bit of a hip and shoulder there through the tri-oval. Andy Barber's going to be left out to dry. Oh, Adam Malone's going to be left out to dry. And there's crashes in the background, crashes everywhere. So look at the front now. Look at the front. Andy Barber and Raymond Yeager, that's where we need to look.
Well, the checkered flag's already come out there,
it's
eh?
already out. Sorry, my apologies. I thought we had one more lap to go. So Raymond Yeager getting the job done. So
Thanks, Jay.
there we go. I don't know why
Sorry,
I
I
thought
mucked
we had
up
one
your
more lap to
pit
go, but that just goes my simplicity here on the
Good win,
Sports
Raymond.
Network. But I tell you what, Tanner,
Thanks,
you've called it. We'll go back
I thought
to
you almost run out of fuel.
Inside Lane Productions instant
I actually
replay
wanna
and see what
have 1.5
happened through the
laps.
tri-oval there before we come back to you, Tanner. But the Inside Lane Productions
Good racing,
replay, we
guys.
can see Andy Barber there in behind Adam Malone,
good.
getting a good push there up behind the Pinnacle Esports guys, trying to make the run on the
Well done,
outside.
Norman,
Nigel
and
Payton
thanks everyone for a
covers
good
that one
season.
off, gives him a bit of hip and shoulder there through the
Yeah, thank you for
tri-oval.
that, Brad,
Adam
and
Malone trying
nice
to go
finish
low
there
there,
for
going,
you
I
too,
don't want
man.
a part of this. Andy Barber going low there. I
Jay,
don't want
give
a
me
part of
freebie
this.
there.
And he goes up the
Really good
inside
running
as
with you
well.
there, Jay. You're happy to
And
attack with me.
that's
Awesome,
pretty much
buddy.
how it finishes as they go across the line. How close is that for second, third, and fourth? Gentlemen,
I wasn't sure if you were going
what a
to
great
punch on, so,
race.
yeah.
But
Awesome race,
Tanner, you definitely called this one, mate, as we thank Inside Lane Productions for the replay. We definitely have to thank you. Like, you called that one.
Darren,
Raymond
not either,
Yeager, the
mate.
other night, you called him for the win. You got the win again tonight.
No.
Yeah, like with the help of Matt Payton too, and Nigel, I mean,
Dang,
and
actually.
Matt too, because Nigel was obviously helping him because they were drafting off Nigel, so he was kind of pushing them out. But also Matt at the back, he was also drafting off like Andy Barber, Adam Malone, JCW even, and putting the pressure on them. So they're not only just trying to get ahead, they got to protect their position.
Yeah, most definitely. And what a great job it was by everyone involved tonight. But we'll go through your final standings here for the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. It was Raymond Yeager coming away with the W tonight over Andy Barber, Nigel Payton rounding out your three. Adam Malone, in fourth. Tom Pritchard in fifth. Joshua Carl-Walden in sixth. Brad Fenley will come home in seventh. Jai Schultz in eighth. Matty Payton in ninth. And Norman Clark, we can now crown him your championship winner there in 10th position for the first time here on the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. Maxi Marshall in 11th, Glenn Klein, Tristan Koch, Brian Bullock, Derek Jacobs, Paul Regney, Dave Oliver, and Brett Campbell rounding out your 18 starters tonight. But we'll go straight across to your top three place getters tonight, and we'll have a chat to them. Of course, Norman's up into the broadcast booth. We'll have a chat to him later. But the top three tonight, Nigel Payton, mate, Super Speedway, you guys in the Pinnacle Esports racing team, you know how to get the job done on the Super Speedway. You definitely didn't have it your own way with the Sunstars Esports racing guys. They're giving it to you the whole way, but got to be happy with that one. But as Super Speedway see, a little bit of incidents there, a little bit of hip and shoulder there on Andy Barber through the tri-oval in the final lap, mate. But you got to be happy with your P3.
Yeah, thanks, Aidan. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Good for the win for the team, Raymond. And congratulations to Norman on his series win.
Well, Tanner, we'll jump you up, mate. I don't know if you know Nigel, my son. Tanner's up in the broadcast booth tonight. We've jumped up and given him a bit of a baptism of fire. But Tanner, anything you want to chat to Nigel about with his race tactics and how it went for him at the moment? Anything you want to say to him?
I mean, yeah, like your protecting of Raymond Yeager was without that protection, he could have possibly lost that race, and like Adam Malone, Andy Barber could have possibly got first and second in that race.
Yeah, just do the team thing there. I think I might have come up a little bit on the end and touched Andy. That was a bit unfortunate. Sorry, Andy. But yeah, no, it was a good race and good fun.
Well, it was a good race, mate. But P3, happy to finalise the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. That's another series done and dusted. Obviously, now it's rebranded to Global iRacing Leagues and we move into the 2022 season. But I tell you what, you guys at Pinnacle Esports Racing, you'd be happy with that one to finish off the season and be looking forward to a strong 2022 season in whatever you choose to do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a couple of wins in the season, so I was pretty happy with my season. So, excellent.
Well, mate, big shout out to everyone involved in your P3 tonight. Your time to shine. Big shout out to everyone, all your sponsors, everyone involved for your P3 tonight.
Just the boys at Pinnacle Esports, Raymond, Justin, Greg, Matt, and our sponsors, Sim Racing Edge, do a great job giving us our setups for our open leagues that we run. So, thanks very much.
No worries at all. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your third place getter tonight for the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series from Talladega. It was the number 90 of Nigel Payton. We move across to your second place getter, Andy Barber, Southern Stars Esports Racing. I tell you what, you guys were a polished performance tonight around super speedways, as you always are. Not the way you probably wanted it to end for all the drivers, but you still got a podium there for the number 5 tonight.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, no, pretty happy with the effort tonight, and we were running 1, 2, 3 for a while there, so that was really good. But definitely had a challenge from the Pinnacle boys at the end there, and I usually find myself racing around Nigel, and it's always hard and fair, so that was really good too.
Well, you got a little bit of a hip and shoulder there by Nigel through the tri-oval. How did you think about that one?
Oh, I don't know, mate. It's probably the first time I think he's ever touched me, to be honest. But yeah, no, it was great, and just foot to the floor, and obviously on that last lap we were just trying to have a run there at the end, and came up a little bit too short.
Well, tell you what, coming up short, coming P2, you can't go wrong with that one, but looking forward to seeing what you guys do coming into the 2022 season. And I hear you got another little teammate joining your team.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, apparently you do. Apparently
okay.
you do. Don't know who that is, but apparently you got someone else coming into the ranks for 2022.
Oh, okay. It might be a good driver.
I wouldn't say that.
Don't know about good, and I don't think it's going to bolster the ranks either of the team.
Way to put me on the spot.
That's all right. We like to do that, mate. It's the Sim Esports Network. We throw people under the bus all the time, so what's any different tonight? But no, in all seriousness, mate, good run tonight in the number 5 Southern Stars Esports Racing outfit, and good way to finish 2022. We go into Christmas and probably not a lot of racing from a league perspective, and good way to finish your racing season tonight here for the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we'll just have a bit of a break now and finish with the series and go away over Christmas and regroup and got a new lineup for 2022 as you alluded to, with yourself included. So we'll definitely be mounting a challenge for the new seasons coming out. But I'd like to especially congratulate Raymond for the win and Norman for the series win as well. Very well done, and also Nigel on the podium.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Well said. And it was a great job there by Raymond, and an even better job there by Norman on the championship. But big congratulations there for your P2 tonight, mate. And obviously, Tanner was in the broadcast as well, mate. I can't let it go without Tanner having a little bit of a chat to you, because he did a great job tonight. Andy Barber, Tanner, mate, you want to give Andy a little bit of a congratulations for his P2 tonight?
Yeah, good job. I mean, you're like up there nearly the whole race, and you're putting lots of pressure on on like Raymond Yeager and all of them, all that team.
Well,
no worries.
Tanner,
Thanks heaps for that, and probably did a cracking race call tonight and put a little bit of pressure on your old man there. So I get to get one up on him this time.
well, I'm going to throw all of Southern Stars under the bus here while Tanner's here. So with the addition of Aiden joining the team for 2022, so Tanner, where do you think Aiden's going to slot in the lineup of Southern Stars here? So you've got Andy Barber, you've got Tom Pritchard, you've got Adam Malone, you've got Darren McKenzie as well, who wasn't here tonight, and Derek Jacobs. Where do you think Aiden's going to line up in that lineup there?
I mean, around the middle, like, or up near maybe fourth.
Did you just say third or fourth?
Fourth, yeah.
I think he's giving you a big rap there, Aiden.
Oh, I was happy with sixth. Fourth will go, right? Yeah, you can come back, Tanner. That's good. Yeah. All right, third or fourth will be good. But
Good call, Tanner. Good call, mate.
He throws me under the bus all the time.
Good
but
on you.
Anyway, great job tonight, Andy. Good job with your P2, mate. Big shout out to everyone involved tonight with your nice solid podium to go into Christmas with a little bit of steam under your belt moving into 2022.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, and I'll just thank Sky Point for the support throughout the year, throughout all the seasons. Tiona Holiday Park, naturally, that's a big one for us. Margaret and Adam down there, so shout out to them. And also Mrs. Excel Garage down in South Australia, and big shout out to those guys for their support, and makes life a little bit easier for the Stars.
Yeah, most definitely, mate. But big congratulations once again on your P2. Brad Elson jumping in the chat saying, well, Aiden, if you can't beat them, join them. That's a little bit harsh, considering I just beat them on a championship. But anyway, Brad, thank you. Anyway, looking forward to 2022, but let's not take the shine on for what we see tonight.
No worries, boys.
Andy Barber, your second place getter tonight here for the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. But it moves us straight across to Tay-Tay, Razor, Raymond Yeager, the big dog, as we call him, Razor. Mate, this super speedway stuff with you, I tell you what, it's getting too easy. You're just going to have to retire soon.
Oh, I don't know about that, mate. Feels like I haven't done well at the super speedway for a while, but tonight went really well. And I mean, Nige at the end there drove amazingly. I think they had us. If he didn't chuck that slight little block at the end, I think they had us. So, yeah, big thanks to Nige there.
Well, at least he didn't leave you hung out to dry as he did earlier in the season at the Super Speedway when you were definitely going to win it, and he totally just left you hung out to dry. So
yeah.
That was probably a little bit of a debrief there for the Pinnacle Esports racing team and saying, hey, mate, don't do that again. Is that what we saw tonight?
We did discuss it coming in, not that he hung me out to drive previously. We did discuss what we were going to do with the last couple of laps because we knew it was basically the same situation as the last time. The Southern Stars were coming, except this time it was Andy and Adam instead of Andy and Darren. Basically, I told him, let's back up and close that gap because they were trying to put that little 0.2, 0.3 gap so they could get a run. We sort of try and close that up on coming into the last lap, and then we just got together and just pushed as hard as we could. And then once again, Nige at the end chucked an amazing little block at the end. Looked pretty clean from my end. And yeah, amazing job from him. So it worked out really well.
Yeah, it did, mate. It was good teamwork. It was definitely between the two teams, and you got the job done, and that's all you can ask for. And as I said to Andy and Nigel, you know, it's a good way to go into Christmas. This is a time that we pretty much calm down a little bit when it comes to the sim racing world. Outside of official stuff or whatever you want to do, it goes into the silly season. A lot of time for us to now go spend time with our friends and family and come back ready for the 2022 racing season. So a good way for you to go across and go into the festive season with a little bit of a head of steam running into 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I won my last two races that I've competed in, so I'm pretty happy with that. It doesn't happen often. So, I mean, it's, ended 2021 really well. Hopefully we can start 2022 in the same fashion. I assume we'll be back in the Global iRacing leagues, doing our stuff, trying to get as many wins as we can. And obviously we'll be dealing with our V8 stuff as well, and looking forward to NASCAR in 2022 as well.
Yeah, definitely. You pretty much got the same goals as I do. So Global iRacing Leagues obviously will be a big part, but NASCAR will be a big part, and obviously Paul and I will be a big part now of the Supercar Series on a Sunday night. So we're looking forward to that one instead of being in the booth, as much as we're probably going to have a little bit of a tear in our eye because we don't get to bring it, because we absolutely love bringing all the action of it. But it'll be good being able to drive it and see what it's like from the driver's point of view. But, mate, big congratulations on your P1 tonight. Your chance. Big shout out to everyone involved with your P1.
Yeah, cheers. Obviously, Nigel couldn't have won without him tonight, so thank you to him. The other boys in Pinnacle Esports Racing, Matt Patton, Greg Spencer, Justin Witcher. You know, we've raced together for a long time now, and just makes getting on and racing a lot more fun with those boys. Obviously, our team sponsors 186, Speech and Language Development Australia, CarWorks, Witcher Electrics, and the Sim Racing Edge, who Nige mentioned earlier, give us our setups for our open races that we do. Just big shout out to you blokes at Intersim Esports Network for broadcasting this race and everything else that you do. I watch probably far too much of the replays back, so thank you for that. And obviously, I know he's not running it anymore, but Shorey for putting this league on to begin with. So thanks to him. It's a good series. He's done a great job building it, and I'm sure you'll take it into the future and improve on it from there.
Yeah, definitely a big thank you to Shorey, and I'll say my thank you pretty shortly, but I'll give Tanner a chance to jump in and have a little bit of a chat to Raymond. Tanner, Raymond, you don't know this, but Tanner was tuning into the broadcast last week where you got the W, and he wasn't in the broadcast booth, but he was in the chats, and he was going for you, and he said you had the strategy and you got the W. Like you said, the last two outings you got the W, and then coming in tonight into the broadcast booth, he had you as the winner again. So like coming in, you're probably $1.10 to getting the win in Tanner's eyes, and you got the W done. So Tanner, you want to have a quick chat to Raymond?
I mean, yeah, congratulations on the win. And yeah, I mean, the team working from your team and your driving, yeah, it was good. Like, not going too early and being patient and waiting for the perfect time to, like, jump and fight, and then eventually holding them off at the end with the help of Nigel too, and then securing the win.
Yeah, thanks, Tanner. Obviously, you're a smart kid backing me for the win. Obviously haven't seen too much racing that I've done, luckily, but I've pulled it off for you last couple of times, so that's good. No, look, obviously, like you said, it's all about tactics at super speedways and being there at the end. And yeah, we came up with the right one tonight. As you said, kept it tight as long as we could, and then just foot to the floor and hope we can hold them off at the end. And like I've said probably a billion times already, without Nige tonight, there's no way I'll win that race. So that block at the end was fantastic, and yeah, just great stuff.
Well, I think you might need to buy JC Dub a beer as well, because that push from JC Dub helped you out as well there.
Yeah, I feel bad for JCW, who's up there by himself against two teams of three. You know, he sort of had no chance, to be fair. But like you said, he pushed me and Nige past the Southern Star boys to get us to the lead, and probably without that we couldn't have won. So yeah, I probably do need to have a chat to JCW and maybe get him a beer or something.
Well, it's coming into Christmas, mate. That could be his little Christmas present from the Pinnacle Esports guys, mate. Just send him a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah, that's it.
If he's up here in Queensland. I know you're not, so I can give you my address, not his, and I'll be more than happy to drink it, even though I don't really drink these days. But
I think I'll talk to JCW directly and get his address, mate.
No, don't worry about that. He won't care. But no, in all seriousness, mate, big congratulations tonight. You're winner of the final round 11 of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. It was the 23 pilot from Pinnacle Esports Racing, Raymond Yeager. But that brings us straight across to the gentleman of iRacing, and what a pleasure it is. It was one that was so close to getting last season. He's got the chockies this year, the 09. He runs pretty much as an independent here in the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series, but he is a part of the Natari Autosports team through other leagues. Norman Clark out of New Zealand, mate. You've got the championship done, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thanks for that, Aidan. It was quite an enjoyable series. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and congrats to Brad Findlay. He was a great competitor throughout, and it's pity D-Mac wasn't here tonight. I was sort of planning on trying to have a good go with him. He usually wins a lot of these races, so I thought he was my main opposition throughout, but I don't know where he was tonight, but that was lucky for me, so it was a lot easier.
Well, mate, what was the difference? You come into last season and you're at the top of the championship standings for a lot of last season, and you come into this one. It seemed like you come into this one just with the mindset of just have some nice solid races, and that's exactly what you've done. And it's not necessarily been about the wins. You've definitely been there on the podiums and top fives, and that's what's got the job done for the 09 this season.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And I mean, in the race tonight, all I needed to do was to survive because Darren wasn't here, So I just really needed to survive, and I was being as careful as I could. So early on in the run, I was in the second pack, but I was getting bumped a little bit from behind. So I just pulled right out of the pack and sort of dropped to the back. So it was a fairly easy race for me tonight. And with my luck on the super speedways, I normally don't do very well. So it was quite imperative that I just stayed out of trouble. But anyway, still a top 10, which is, quite acceptable, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And you only had to do what you need to do to get the championship done tonight. It wasn't about winning. You just need to get that 09 car around the track pretty much clean and just finish the race and get the championship. And that's exactly what you did tonight. But Tanner, I'll let you jump in. And Norman, you've heard, that's my son jumping in. You want to have a little bit of a congratulations there to Norman on his championship?
I mean, yeah, congratulations. Obviously, I didn't get to see much of like the start or like the first races, but from what I saw from these past races, it was pretty good driving.
Yeah, no, thanks for that, Tanner. And it's obvious that you're going to be joining us one of these days, so maybe you can be the youngest guy and come and beat us all up soon, hopefully. So thanks for the wishes.
Maybe I might.
Good man.
Well, definitely don't take after your dad, otherwise you'll get meatballs everywhere. So, yeah, definitely do better than your dad. But Norman, mate, in all seriousness, great job on your championship. It's well deserved. Couldn't have gone to a better driver, better gentleman here on the iRacing network, mate. It's really great to see you get a championship. So, good way to finish off 2021. Look forward to seeing you in 2022. Obviously, you're going to be a big player in the NASCAR series. Hopefully, we can see you in the global iRacing leagues and then everything else you want to do. But from myself, Paul, and everyone at the Indosim Esports Network, a big congratulations on your championship win. We wish you a nice, happy and safe Christmas period, and go across and have a couple of weeks break and enjoy the win and have some nice, fun time with your family and friends.
Yeah, thanks, Aidan, and thanks, Paul, as well, for you guys that are there every week, and Shori that put the series on, and obviously a shout out to Simrigs and Inside Lane Productions, everyone that was involved. It was really, really great. And lastly, of course, congrats to Raymond Yeager, Andy Barber, Nigel and Adam and Tom there in the top 5. And shout out to Joshy, JCW, for giving me some pointers here and there, and Tristan Koch. A couple of us worked together when we could. So thanks for that.
No worries at all, Norman. Well said, Bill. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've crowned you 1, 2, and 3 tonight for the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. That was Raymond Yeager, Andy Barber, and Nigel Payton. But more importantly, we crowned your Season 2 winner of the NASCAR Next Gen Series, brought to you by simrigs.com. It was the 09 from New Zealand, Norman Clark. So what a sensational series it was. We are going to wind ourselves down here on the InterSim Esports Network moving into the Christmas period. We've just taken on a new league and we will be broadcasting that this coming Wednesday, I believe, Paul. I believe we're doing this Wednesday and then we have a week off. And it will be the MSR TCR League that we saw last Wednesday night. And there were in excess of 50 entries around Bathurst, Mount Panorama Bathurst, last Wednesday night. So we're expecting similar, if not more, entries for this this Wednesday night. So you can join all that action here on the InterSim Esports Network live from approximately 6:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time or 7:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, wherever you may be. But outside of that, pretty much brings it to an end here on the InterSim Esports Network for 2021. A big thank you to Tanner for jumping into the booth and helping us out tonight. I hope you had a great night, mate. But Paul, I didn't quite hear what you said there. But and then we go across. Sorry, I did miss out on that. So on Sunday we do the Australasian Supercar E-Series, the Ray White Royal Gain to Australasian Supercar E-Series. So sorry, I was too busy thinking about Christmas. I've already got my Christmas belly on. So this Sunday we will be bringing you the next round of the Australasian Supercar E-Series, brought to you by Ray White Royal Gander here on the InterSim Esports Network. Then we'll move across to the MSR TCR Series on Wednesday night for what will wrap up the InterSim Esports Network broadcasting for 2021 before we go into 2022. But Tanner, thank you for joining me in the broadcast booth. Of course, Paul, as always, thank you for doing what you do on the cameras and joining us in the broadcast booth as well. But from myself, Paul, Tanner, everyone, the InterSim Esports Network, that wraps up the final round and Season 2 of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. We look forward to seeing you here live on the InterSim Esports Network on Sunday night for the Ray White Royal Gain to Australasian Supercar E-Series. But for now, it's good night and we'll see you on Sunday.